What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Thomas throws this accusation at Brooke. The Bold and the Beautiful reveals that Luna Nozawa makes a move that enrages Lee Finnegan, and Thomas Forrester will bring an accusation against Brooke Logan. For starters, Thomas will finally return and spend some time hanging out with Taylor Hayes in her office. Thomas will have the chance to talk about Taylor and Ridge Forrester's wedding, which he is looking forward to. Taylor will say that Ridge's love and commitment are secure, but she will say things about Brooke that make Thomas nervous. Taylor will make the point that Eric Forrester is on Brooke's side and wants to see her and Ridge get back together. Despite that and Brooke's own desire to win over Ridge, Taylor will hold out hope that this wedding will go according to plan. There'll even be some talk about Steffi Forrester returning for the nuptials when the time comes. However, Thomas will worry this marriage ceremony won't happen at all if he doesn't intervene when it comes to Brooke. That's why Thomas will head to Forrester Creations and interrupt Brooke's conversation with Katie Logan in the design office. Thomas will make it clear that Ridge has moved on and complain about Brooke not respecting boundaries. B&B say Thomas will accuse Brooke of attempting to steal Ridge from Taylor, so he'll warn that her pursuit stops now. Since Thomas will want to protect Ridge and Taylor's happy ending, he'll order Brooke to never come between his parents again. Katie will no doubt get tangled up in the tension that's on the way, so stay tuned for all the escalating drama. At Lee's place, she'll fume since Luna will once again make hiding her difficult. Lee will scold Luna for her recklessness, so it sounds like she might catch her granddaughter after another temporary escape. However, there'll be a good reason for Luna's sneaky move. Luna will receive a pregnancy test, which she will use to determine whether or not she is carrying Will Spencer's child. The Bold and the Beautiful say Will's going to get updates on some shocking news in the not-too-distant future, so don't miss all the chaos ahead. Thomas Forrester returns. The Bold and the Beautiful, Taylor is thrilled when her son, Thomas Forrester, walks through her office door at the hospital. She yells his name and then gets up to give him a hug. Thomas has been absent for some time. Since Taylor first came back to Los Angeles, Ridge helped her overcome her broken heart syndrome, and then turned to her when he had a falling out with Brooke. Swearing that he would never go back to Brooke, Ridge has been trying to be committed to Taylor, or at least he was until he saw Brooke fall into the sea in Italy, and he swam to her rescue. What transpired subsequent to that may hold the key to everyone's future. Taylor has missed Thomas so much, and now with Steffi it's a really good time for him to show up. Thomas has lots of catching up to do. Taylor tells him about the status of her relationship with his father. Brooke urges Ridge to tell Taylor as soon as possible about what transpired between them in Naples. After listening at the door, Thomas makes his presence known in the Forrester CEO's office. Thomas questions Brooke and Ridge. Meanwhile, Luna is obsessed with Will and Auntie. Grandma Lee is obsessed with telling Luna to forget about boys. What's Lee going to do with her Luna problem? It's not like she can ground her, but Luna is just so risky. Thomas Forrester's much-anticipated return to Los Angeles signifies the onset of a tumult that neither the Forrester nor the Logan families can fully manage. The Bold and the Beautiful ensures that his return is laden with drama, suspicion, and accusations that penetrate the core of the long-standing conflict between Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes. As Thomas enters his mother's office at the hospital, the reunion is both heartfelt and fraught with tension. Taylor embraces her son, expressing how much she has missed him and how lonely she has felt without Steffi and without Thomas, to reinforce her belief that Ridge will remain faithful this time. Despite Taylor's efforts to uphold her characteristic optimism, she cannot suppress the lingering doubt that Ridge's affection for Brooke is a persistent flame. She carefully chooses her words to convey to Thomas that Eric Forrester has been supporting Brooke, not her, and that Eric's loyalty and affection seem to gravitate towards his beloved Brooke. This revelation ignites a protective anger in Thomas, as he realizes that if Eric is siding with Brooke and she is openly yearning for Ridge, then his mother's meticulously planned dream wedding is on the verge of disintegration. Although Thomas has a past marked by manipulation and obsession, he is currently attempting to portray himself as reformed. Nevertheless, he cannot resist the urge to intervene, pressing Taylor on how certain she truly is that Ridge is committed to her for the long haul, and when she asserts that Ridge has made promises, sworn and committed in ways she hasn't witnessed in decades, Thomas nods but is overwhelmed by a wave of doubt, recalling all the previous instances when Ridge professed loyalty only to find himself in Brooke's embrace once more. This belief that Brooke will never genuinely release Ridge serves as the catalyst for Thomas's mission. Later that day, he storms into Forrester Creations, disregarding the need to knock as he barges into the design office where Brooke is conversing with her sister, Katie Logan, who has been providing quiet advice on how to manage Ridge. The expression on Thomas's face conveys everything. He is on a mission, filled with anger, and poised to unleash a barrage of accusations that will send shockwaves through the entire fashion house. True to form, he does not hold back as he confronts Brooke, stating unequivocally that she shows no respect for boundaries, that she shamelessly tries to insert herself into Ridge and Taylor's relationship, that she has spent decades manipulating, seducing, and undermining his mother, and that enough is enough. The cycle must end. Startled yet quick to regain her composure, Brooke responds with that familiar calm yet condescending tone that infuriates Thomas, asserting that she is not engaging in any inappropriate behavior, that her connection with Ridge is initiated by Ridge himself, and that the bond they share is something Taylor will never comprehend. Shaking with the fervor of his defense of Taylor, Thomas delivers his most severe accusation yet, claiming that Brooke is actively trying to steal Ridge from Taylor, that she cannot exist without meddling, and that she is the reason his family has endured repeated fractures. Katie attempts to intervene, telling Thomas that this is neither the appropriate time nor place. However, Thomas turns on her as well, cautioning her to manage her sister, as Ridge deserves tranquility and Taylor deserves joy. The confrontation intensifies until Thomas nearly commands Brooke to keep her distance from his father, to never again interfere between his parents, to ultimately do what is right and let go. As these words resonate throughout the design office, Brooke's smile shifts into something more cutting, as she is unaccustomed to being addressed in such a manner by anyone, especially Ridge's son. She quietly vows, with a hint of menace, that Ridge is an adult who makes his own decisions, and if he returns to her, as he has done in the past, it will not be due to any manipulation on her part, but rather because he still harbors feelings for her. This piercing truth, or arrogance depending on one's viewpoint, leaves Thomas fuming, while Katie realizes she is caught in the midst of a brewing conflict that could once again fracture the family just as the wedding is meant to unite everyone. Yet, this is not the only turmoil occurring, for across town at Finnegan's residence, Lee is once again unraveling with rage as Luna Nozawa slips from her grasp, defying every rule, every lecture, and every effort to contain her. Luna, fixated on Will Spencer and still holding on to the memory of their secret night together, sneaks away just long enough to obtain a pregnancy test, her hands shaking as she contemplates the possibility of carrying Will's child, a notion that both terrifies and excites her. Meanwhile, Lee, upon discovering the deceit, erupts in a fit of scolding fury, admonishing Luna for being reckless, selfish, and one misstep away from not only ruining her own life but also tarnishing the family's reputation. Yet, Luna hardly pays attention, as her focus remains singular. Will, and the idea that a child could unite them eternally, amplifying Sheila Carter Sharp's warnings, resonates even more profoundly. Sheila, whether confined in her prison cell or vocally expressing her concerns during visiting hours, has implored Luna to confront the truth, to recognize that Will is devoted to Electra Forrester and is constructing a future with her. She urges Luna to abandon her pursuit of an illusion. However, Luna, intoxicated by obsession and denial, maintains that fate favors her, believing that the night she shared with Will serves as evidence of an unbreakable connection. If she is indeed expecting, then no one, neither Electra, nor Sheila, nor Lee, will be able to sever that bond. Meanwhile, as Thomas hurls accusations at Brooke in defense of Taylor's delicate dream wedding, and Ridge hesitates on how to finally reveal to Taylor that he and Brooke shared that pivotal, life-altering kiss on the dock in Italy, the entire narrative begins to splinter along familiar yet thrilling lines. Taylor clings to hope, Thomas wields his anger like a weapon, Brooke stands firm with maddening confidence, Katie finds herself caught in the crossfire, Lee seethes over Luna's recklessness, and Luna edges closer to unveiling a shocking pregnancy announcement. The audience is left questioning whether Ridge's wedding will ever reach the altar or if, once again, the magnetic pull of Brooke Logan will shatter Taylor's heart. This situation illustrates that regardless of how many times Thomas hurls accusations or Taylor attempts to trust in promises, Ridge's fate may never stray far from Brooke. All the while, an unborn child, a vengeful grandmother, and a delusional girl linger at the periphery of this central drama, poised to drag the next generation into the turmoil that has characterized this saga for decades. In The Bold and the Beautiful, accusations transcend mere words. They are sparks that ignite infernos capable of engulfing entire families.